So I did a stupid. I said I needed to change out the batteries. I did. I forgot to save the data first. Now, I didn't lose anything, but it did start but once I put batteries in, turned it on, made sure it was working, yeah, it started collecting new data. At least it was bad data, so it's going to be very easy for me to filter out. I mean, here, I'll just pull up the season. Yeah, so these zeros and the 62 on my blood ox, that I can all throw out. In fact, I'll just do that. Yeah. Alright, let's get the music going. Timer's going. Back into this. Alright. Yeah, and I'll clean this stuff up. I mean, obviously that's the same game, but I mean getting rid of the build. So I was talking about the various hardware stuff. Left off on GPUs. Yeah, which NVIDIA's being NVIDIA, which I mean, yeah, I would expect from NVIDIA. You expect them to finally figure out that, you know, this is actually going to piss people off. And it does seem like the 4000 series may actually achieve it. Haven't looked at too much, but it does seem that a lot of people in the media, a lot of influencers are definitely being that are very much agreeing that NVIDIA is a bad thing to do. And to explain that, I mean, the main thing that is off is the two 4080s that, you know, they're going to confuse people, and the performance is going to be very different. So, I want to make sure I got all stuff. The burn mark. But it's basically, they announced the RTX 4090, 4080, and the 4070, but they decided we're going to call the 4070 the 4080, another version of the 4080, because that way people will be confused and purchase that, not realizing, well, thinking that, hey, they're getting the 4080. No, they're getting the 4070. And that is, there are people that are, like, genuinely ticked. So hopefully that will hurt them. Also, the pricing is not that great. And that actually was somebody that I think was making that argument, that might be why NVIDIA has done this, is because they want to be able to charge the $900 for the 4070, but they could never get away with charging $900 for the 70 class. So they said, alright, we'll just say it's the 80 class, because that we can get away with. Yeah. So there's a chance that AMD might save us. It's hard to say. They technically should be able, because the new 7000 series, the RDNA 3 stuff, it is chiplet based, and chiplets do afford the potential for saving money, because if you look at wafer calculator stuff, you'll see that, you know, smaller dies, because basically you're always going to have errors on the wafer that will make dies unusable. Well, the larger the die is, then one error can take out an entire die. So it's a lot more expensive. It's more that has to be thrown out, or at least cannot be used at full power. It's also part of the reason why you see cut down versions where it's like, and you know, for CPUs and GPUs. So like with the GPU, you may have 1,000, say, computing units on there, whether the CUDA cores or whatever. Well, if you find that, oh, not all these work, let's say 200 of them don't work, just pulling a number out. Like if it was 1024 and 256, then it leaves you with 768. But which 256 you disable can be dependent on, okay, well, those are the ones with faults in them that we can't do anything about, so those are the ones that we switch off. It's like you have that flexibility there. That's part of the reason those exist. But if you go to this chiplet design, so that the chip are all so much smaller, the dies are so much smaller, then the likelihood of having an entire chiplet be damaged is much more remote. So you can actually have more that you can use. And that can make you a lot of money, and because you can also, it's economics of scale stuff. I mean, it's how AMD with even the original Zen, they had one chiplet design, one die. I can understand some people saying it wasn't a chiplet. I can understand that it's not completely correct, but it's also not completely incorrect. Just the original Zeppelin dies were basically entire, the full chip. That there wasn't. It's just that they were able to connect together. That's like, well, are they chiplet? It's like, When you got to Zen 2, and now you had things actually separated off into a I/O die and an actual compute die, that's when you can definitely say, yeah, chip. Oh, not even notice that. It's a torso. Anyway. But they were able to, with the original Zen, go from the R3 1200, which was still a Zeppelin die, I believe. That's, like, they may have been charging $100 for that. It should have been less. But that might have been yeah, we do still need to cover costs, so it might be at 100 when it should be like 50. I honestly don't. They were very low power. That actually worked out decently. But they were able to do that, and then all the way up to 32-core Epic. Same exact die. So they were able to charge then for the 32-core Epics like $7,000. Now as a consumer might be thinking, whoa, that's a lot. I could build like several systems for that. It's like, yeah. But it was able to compete on performance, in part because of the large core count, with $10,000 offerings from Intel. That was big. And, maybe that is something we will see with the GPU. With the chiplet GPUs. I hope so. Because that is what the graphics card market needs. Was it really only that one? Oh, no, we have one right there. Need to use that. Oh, they're over there. So not right here. Yeah. Kind of think. I want to try to have this. But yeah, it's just AMD is no longer the underdog, and they're leaning into that a bit too. I think is a way to that they do have top level products now. They haven't for a while, and they no longer want to play as the underdog. They want to play as the leader, which is fine. They've earned it. But it is also the whole, yeah, we kind of still need underdog pricing. Yeah. And I don't really know what may come of something. I mean, it could also believe that it may flatten out some, may stabilize some once AMD has a bit more success, and by that, what I mean is I could see it being like them charging more for the CPU so they have more money to spend on the GPU work. But if they can have a solid enough product and eat into some of NVIDIA's mind share, if they can do that, then they those are marked. Then the GPU division would be more self-sustaining. So they wouldn't need to necessarily charge as much as for the CPU. But that is just going with the assumption that could be wrong. Could very easily be wrong. That they are trying to have CPU make up any deficits in the GPU. Which is also unlikely because RDNA 1 and 2 are both very successful. They're both very competent, very powerful GPU designs, so you shouldn't need so much. You shouldn't need to take so much from CPU portion. But it is also they spend a long time barely having they need to endure. Yeah, I mean, it's like they spun off. AMD used to also be a manufacturer, it's a designer, but then they spun it off as Global Foundry. Part of the reason they did that was to make money. They needed the money from spinning it off. Yeah, I mean, they're not in that situation anymore. So hopefully they can find how to do some things like they were still in charge price aggressively for selling. Especially because I want a new GPU, and at some point I would like go to a Zen 4, Zen 5 based startup. Although I will admit that I would be willing to go to something like the 7950F, so 16 core, 32 thread, what I have, but several generations. I'd be willing to go to that if we finally had a motherboard manufacturer deciding, hey, you know what? PCIe 5 offers double the bandwidth of PCIe 4. So if we split this, we could do things there. I'm thinking about it. You could take a single PCIe 5 16 lane slot, and you can take that and make that into two PCIe PCIe Gen 4 16 slot. So that would be enough for a GPU that would still be actually not even coming close to saturating its bandwidth. The bandwidth on the interface. You could, put that in there and have 4 NVMe based on PCIe 4.0 storage drives. And that's just off 16 PCIe 5 lanes, and I know that AMD is typically giving on the consumer product 24 lanes accessible. I think it's actually 32 off of the CPU, but those are going to the chipset. Yeah, the ones that are going to the chipset. So it's like, you'd still have more to spare. Why are motherboard manufacturers not doing this? I mean, yes, it is more expensive because you need the muxing device, muxing chip that'll handle that, but it still is this is an opportunity. Why are you not taking advantage of it? And you could have done that with PCIe 4 as well. PCIe 4 is one of those, you can have crazy fast storage that, kind of makes sense to have. PCIe 5 is you can have crazy fast storage that makes absolutely no sense for anyone to have. It really is. PCIe 5's bandwidth is certainly to the point of, if you're not in a data center, you shouldn't be using this. So, yay. And there is also the potential benefit of more memory bandwidth. I'm not sure how much that matters for me. The reason I went with the 1950X was for the core count for doing video. This stuff. But I don't know. I mean, that's the reason I have enough memory. I don't know how much memory bandwidth is actually helping. Hey, speaking of video stuff, I can talk a little bit more about OBS, since I'm using a new version, which does have one feature that I finally figured out how to get working because it is stupid. I'm sorry, it really is stupid. I can't use it right now, but it is stupid. So they built in, you can have it automatically, you can have it split recordings automatically or manually. Okay? So you can have it split based on length. So I could have set this so that 40 minutes, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it is going to split the recording. Okay. I don't want that, I want control. It's also because I need to edit the oximeter data. I can't split, I need to stop so I can stop the oximeter data recording. But for the just gaze tracker videos, that I can use. You need to set a hotkey to do the manual splitting, and you need to also set it to enable splitting on the recording thing, which okay, sort of fine, but it's even deeper than that. Because you then need to give it the configuration of, because you have the options of split at length, split at file size, and then only split manually. It's like, why is it this varied? I understand the whole, no, you need to set it. Oh, I had one. I mean to enable the splitting. Okay, it's like, alright, I can understand that. Oh, in a way, it's not just, hey, you've enabled the hotkey, you press the hotkey, that means you want to split. Okay, I can understand that. But why do you have it hidden in this one thing? I mean, it is hidden. It really is. Because I would not think to look under video. I could see advanced on the profile, but not video and then under recording. Because remember, you hit video, it actually comes up as a streaming image, not as not recording. I do wish I could just say streaming completely in a profile. You can just have it be like, nope, doesn't matter. Do not even show the stuff to me because I am that. that does remind me, I did actually replay Prey on my own time. Oh, wait. Yay, that's not going to take me time. Yeah, I did run through do New Game Plus 4. And that time I did blow up the station. Oh, good. And I had considered maybe recording that ending, but it's like, nah, I don't know if I'd be able to make it long enough to have that fill out the weekend mission. But yeah, going back to OBS, it now also supports natively sniffer 81 encoding, which I don't know. It comes down too much to performance for me, but I'd also like to see. Like, X264 is just so damn efficient. And it also will depend on, like, what are the actual settings I want to go with. It's like, when I encode videos for upload, I use a maximum bandwidth of, a maximum bitrate of my upload speed, which is about 10. Well, if AV1 is more efficient at that, then I can lower it, but to what? I don't know. And it's kind of my problem. Oh, wait, there is something over here. Yeah, so maybe with Threadripper, with the new Threadripper, I could do the real-time AV1 encoding. No idea. But it's like, I don't think going above 10 is actually going to be worthwhile. Well, I think the quality that, like you're seeing right now, 10 megabit, I don't think that there's really anything beyond that that's worth it. Ah, okay. Yeah. This. It's like, why bother going to AV1 unless I can figure out that, oh no, I can go down to 6 then. Because that would upload appreciably faster. Almost double. Well, yeah, almost double. But it also is only viable if it doesn't take a super long amount of time to do the encoding. If it takes a long time, then it's like, why am I bothering? Also part of it, though, would be better game performance. But also, the scripts I use for this stuff are very, the single thread limited, single thread bottleneck, because of the filters. Those are actually single thread in FFmpeg. So having higher clock speeds would help. Now too, currently I actually have been putting it onto the test system. So it doesn't influence my desktop Although this I'd move over to having a desktop. A new desktop. So I am going to upgrade Tesla. I just don't know to what and what I will do with what is going to be there. Although by now I should have done. By the time this video comes out. So I know I will upgrade it to either the 5800X 3D, which it looks like is what I would need to, so that the performance data is still sensible and comparable to 13th gen and Ryzen 7000. Like there's that. But for my purposes of the recordings and such, and processing that, the 5900X would be the better option. I'm guessing there's stuff up there, so I'm gonna... 5900X is much cheaper. It also might prove easier to get. So I don't know. Like, I'm waiting. I figure I can wait until, like, Black Friday kind of thing. But it's also, I want to see if it happens or not. Build a system around 2700X afterwards, like server type system. Or NAS, depending on how you want to look. I want it to be more than just a network storage. But I don't know how much more. Because, there's attached storage stuff. There's also using things like that sync thing. I don't see it, but it's also the car. So yeah, I'd like to do something like that around it with one thing. Looks like, I'd like to try the TrueNAS scale, but I was looking and it's like, oh, you want two identical storage drives on. I don't necessarily want to do that. Like, do I need two? The case that I'm thinking might be good for it can only do, well, if it could be one, that'd be nice, because then you have a large hard drive in there. But the case I'd like to get can have that and two more 2.5-inch drives right on it. But apparently can fit another, I think it's one or two at 2.5-inch somewhere in the case. But it would be mini, it would be a compact case. I kind of want to do that, and do a collection of articles on what you can do with the out-of-date hardware kind of the replaced part. But I don't know what I would need to purchase. I don't know what I would I don't know what I could get provided. So, yep, that was it. Alright, so, hopefully I can make the next recording interesting. We'll find out. See you then. Oh, I just realized I'm doing half hours. I'm supposed to be doing 40. You know what? That's fine. This was a short one. I knew it would be a short one. So I'm just going with the half hour. Oops. But no, I do try to, with a heart rate, target 40 minutes. But no, it's okay. I need it to be an odd number. So if I had done 40 minutes, it definitely would have been just, it almost certainly would have been 2 videos, and then it's like I'd need another. So. Oh yeah, that's something else. Anyway, see you next time.